Hey family, it has recently, like a couple seconds ago, been brought to my attention that people say, "Oh, I like your food, but I don't eat this, I don't eat that, and you make good food, but I don't eat that." Well, I mean, most of my dishes you can easily convert from beef to chicken, from chicken to fish, from fish to straight vegetarian. I mean, I know when I make things like stewed moose lips or fish ears, it's hard to change that up, but just leave out the fish ears and just add some extra vegetables. Because for the most part, I do add lots of vegetables. And I was a pescatarian slash vegetarian for over 25 years. So, I mean, sometimes I do straight vegetarian stuff, but I don't know. Work with me, people. Work with me. You can do this. But I did something again. Y'all gonna say, well, I don't eat that. You can switch it out. Switch out the protein. Or don't use any protein at all. Just use vegetables. Well, you need some protein, so add beans. Add something else. Anyway, let's go. Hi, my name is T. I am not a chef. Actually, I'm a truck driver. And I don't drive food trucks, I drive a semi. What I'm about to do is show you how to do what I do on my truck. Welcome to your favorite new food show, Big Taste in a Small Space with me, T. So today is a bit of a struggle getting started, but I did it. And I took some carrots and some celery and I shredded them a little bit. Took some spring onions and some sweet peppers and cut them up too. I had some mushrooms and some radishes and orange, cut all them up. And I even had some beef. Now this I didn't cut up, I found it in the store. It's very thinly sliced. With some onion. Hey, that's all the prep work I needed to do. And we're gonna make a meal out of that. Just took out my trusty wok that I messed the handle up, so I don't have a handle on my wok, but it's okay. Put a little water, put some mushrooms in there. Mushrooms, add a little pinch of salt and a little bit of black pepper. Yep. Now, the reason I put the water in there first, oh wait, let's add some crushed red peppers in there too. Yeah, let's add a couple more things. Got this dry black fungus, some mushroom, people, don't get scared now. And this, if you can pronounce it, please tell me. It's also like a kelp, sea mushroom, something like that. Put that all in there with some water. And got my fire up all the way. And this is going to make the normal regular mushrooms soak up the water and let the water back out. That's going to burst those little capillaries that hold water. If you just use straight oil, then your mushrooms will be greasy. This keeps it from being greasy. Add a little chili paste. That's that chili garlic. Stir that in there. And now your room is smelling good. Add some sesame oil, because all this, you got this nice deep umami mushroom scent with that chili and that sesame, and I'm adding a little bit of ginger too. I mean, you vegetarians, you can almost stop here and call it soup. But yeah, let's add some vegetables. I put my carrots in there first, because carrots are going to take the longest. I don't want my stuff to be mush, but I do want them to soften. So the carrots got to go in first. I cut my carrots into quarters the long way. So they're in there. They're cooking up. Every now and then you go back and you stir it up a little bit. Cool. Add a little more water because I don't want this to dry out. Don't want it to be soupy, but don't want it to be bone dry and start being crunchy either. Remember, you put a lot of dry ingredients in there, and they're going to soak up this water pretty good, plus the heat's going to evaporate. So like I said, you stir it, you stir. Then I add my celery, because that also takes a while to break down. I also don't want my celery to be mushy. Yeah, add a little bit more water. But I don't want it to be hard and crunchy. Some days you might. Hey, you might. If you want hard and crunchy, add it later on in the process. But you let that cook down some. You stir. Make my mama proud. She says that's all I do is stir. All I do is buy seasoning and stir. It's a thing. So you stir. Here you go. Now your room really smells good with that deep mushroom, with that deep celery, that sesame oil, that garlic chili paste, man. And I put my spring onions in there too. It's a good time. It's not too early, it's not too late. They are kind of delicate. Oh, and you knock the camera over and you act like nobody's gonna notice. Whatever. Yeah, I turned my hot plate off for a second because I had to turn my little kettle on, and I can't run the two of them at the same time. I want the kettle to heat up so I can have some water for some pasta I'm making. Yep, kettle's ready. Turn the heat back on. Put the water in that pot in the back. Yep. And in that pot in the back, you add a little bit of salt. Then you add your pasta. This is a sweet potato vermicelli I like so much. I usually stir my salt in there with the pasta because the water back there is not boiling anymore, and it's going to take a little while to heat up to get that pasta softened. I just added my onions and my sweet peppers because I did turn the fire back on, and I'm slowly working in my pasta in the back, as you see. Put the top on, and the water's not boiling, but it is extremely hot. You don't want to stick your finger in there, trust me. So now I'm back to tending to my little mixture here. Stir. The heat is back on. Stir your pasta. Make sure it doesn't stick. That's all you're really doing. It's not going to cook all the way in there. You're going to finish it off in the broth, in the sauce, in the stuff that we cooking up front. You see that heat's back up. I just put some dark soy sauce. If you ever wonder why your food doesn't taste like the Asian kitchens, that's because they use that dark soy. Plus, I'm squeezing in this orange now. Yep, sneaky stuff. Yep, I'm doing it. And I'm slowly adding in this shredded beef. I saw two different sizes of shredded beef. This is the thicker of the two. Use whichever one you like. But I'm putting it at the end because it's so thin, it's not going to take very long to cook. Plus, we're not done cooking. So once you get the beef in there, then I put my pasta in there that's not cooked all the way, but it's softened, and we're going to finish it in this sauce so it'll soak up some of that sauce. Yeah, my mouth was watering saying that. Let me wipe the corners of my mouth. And you stir. And just for kicks and giggles, I put a little bit of this vinegar from this shredded ginger. I didn't use the ginger, just the vinegar from it. Gives it an extra boost. Then, you know what? It's time to plate it up. So this is the plating, y'all. Orange sesame beef with carrots, bunch of vegetables, my vermicelli pasta, and those orange slices are so thin you can eat the whole thing, peel and everything. Now usually you won't see me eating, but this is what it's showing. Beef is tender. Noodles are done. pizza tender. That dark soy gives it that richness that you usually get when you go to a half decent Asian restaurant, or a decent one. Hey, you might want to make this. Glad I did. All right, now go away. This is gonna get happily messy. So like I said, this is orange and sesame beef with vermicelli, sweet potato pasta, and mixed vegetables and a couple of different mushrooms. Like I said, you can swap out the beef for chicken. It will be wonderful. You can swap out the chicken for fish, for shrimp, for scallops, or just for more vegetables. You can do this, people. You will thank me later.